Welcome back to the GameCast NewsCast, the only podcast which will provide you with, I would say the news, but let's be honest, it's the news with a lot of tangents involved. And this week, we have, as always, my co-host, Maximal, on the review team.
Hey, I guess I'm a co-host now. Cool, I've been promoted.
Well, yeah, because we're both hosting this. I am Snowy, otherwise known as Count Fracula. I've not introduced myself first for some reason. And our guest this week is Wesley from our social media arm. Say hello, Wesley.
Hello, Wesley. That's me.
I hate you.
Doing as instructed.
Fuck you, man. Yeah, Wesley has not actually been in a video on GameCast yet, to the best of my knowledge, because he is on the social media team. So he doesn't actually make any videos, the lazy bastard.
Hey, I have some great montages that I've been trying to get out there, but I don't think anybody wants to see that.
Oh, fair enough. He's also part of the early access gaming community with whom we are partnered. And yes, all that lovely stuff. So let's get started with a little bit of GameCast related news. So, creators of GameCast are aware, and I've been given the go-ahead to tell the world that Shaka Panda, the host of the Run Right Don't Die podcast, which was the sort of main podcast on GameCast, has had to take a step back. He was initially the team lead of the podcast crew. However, his increasing commitments with his Mixer-related things have meant that he's just swamped at the moment. He's like, this has taken off for him, so really kudos. Well done to Shaka for working like a fucking beast at this. And his mix is going real well, so he can no longer put in the time to be editing together a podcast into some sort of sensible fashion, which, you know, makes sense.
Yeah, he's been dedicating hella time to it. Much respect to the man, much respect.
Yeah. So the sum up of this basically is that Run Right Don't Die isn't dead, but it's in hibernation now. We will be probably searching out some people who might be a suitable podcast host in the next few weeks, and hopefully in the not too distant future, Run Right Don't Die will in fact live up to its name and not be dead.
Hilarious.
I thought of that this morning in the shower. I was just like, yes, that's a really good pun, and I'm going to make that.
Oh, that was pre-planned. Wonderful.
So, yes, that's the little bit of GameCast news out of the way. We do have a couple of other people who've come on board as well. I just thought I'd mention very briefly. We have Gaming Pastime, whose real name I don't actually know, and you'll probably see something from him in the next sort of few weeks.
Yep.
On the review team, which is all lovely. Okay, let's get started with some lovely gaming news. Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon, but having had its skin ripped off and being worn by another game, is getting multiplayer, and the multiplayer includes the option to marry your friends. That's a strange thing.
What other game can you say you can do that in? I guess Final Fantasy XIV, I believe, is an MMO you can do that
Second Life.
Second Life.
Fable?
Yeah, Fable. That's true, Fable. You could do that in Fable. I remember that.
Was there multiplayer in Fable?
Yeah, in Fable 2.
Count, you have to have friends.
Yeah.
We need to get you some gaming friends, man. This is an issue.
What are these friends that you speak of? I don't understand. Second Life isn't dead, by the way. It's still going.
I believe that.
It is just, I did some research because I had a short stay in Second Life and enjoyed it. It now is just a wall of advertisement. That's all it is.
Oh, no.
It's just the ad space.
I've got linked to Habbo Hotel as well. Who fucking remembers Habbo Hotel?
Habbo was
great.
great.
Oh, mate. Oh, that was the best thing. Anyway, that's not Stardew Valley.
I love Stardew Valley. I have 300 hours in that game.
I do not have that many, but I still love the game.
I have 3 farms.
300 hours?
I have 3 farms.
What are you doing with your life? 3 farms?
Yes. That game is great,
It's an addicting game, man.
It is.
It's an addicting game.
I got 40 hours in it. I think that's a lot for me.
40 hours?
Dude, you haven't even done most of it, then.
What are you doing with your life, Count?
Excuse me. I've done quite a large section of that game, I'll have you know.
But have you done all farms on all maps and reached maximum, whatever the end game is?
I'll be honest, I didn't know there was more than one map, so no.
It came later on. And one of the later
I
updates,
really,
yeah.
I played it quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, I played it February 2016 was when I bought the game, so it's been a while.
Oh, it's interesting. There's no split screen or local multiplayer. That's really weird.
No, it's online only.
That's really
At the same time, makes sense. It makes sense in a way, though.
Saw a mod for multiplayer, and it was a very rough mod that a third party developer put together. It was very glitchy, but I think it received a very positive feedback. So I think the developer noticed.
Was that local multiplayer mod?
No, it was
online.
It was online. It was online mod,
Okay.
and I think
like
the
Skyrim
developer.
Online.
Personally, I don't think local multiplayer can work. This isn't a game that, to me, screams local multiplayer. That doesn't sound like something that would work in this game to me, because it's a bit like saying having Animal Crossing as local multiplayer.
I guess that makes sense. That's true. Local multiplayer for Animal Crossing would have been weird. I'm just happy to see the multiplayer here.
I'm just mesmerised by the picture on screen now because the one I married is on there. I'm just like, oh, I married the one with purple hair, incidentally. She's adorable.
She is adorable. I'm just surprised that the multiplayer is actually here because they've been talking about it since the damn game came out. And they said
it's taken them long enough.
Right? He's saying almost every source file has been touched and over 15,000 lines of code have been rewritten just for multiplayer.
Ah, me. That's a lot, but it does also make sense.
No, it does make sense.
Jesus.
And like, good on them for like taking the time to make it great.
Is he still working solo?
Yeah, he is. It's still just him on his own.
His story is amazing.
Wow, that's insane.
Have you
It
read?
really is. It's seriously one of the coolest stories.
I've not read it. Please furnish me with the information. Go for it.
He basically spent 4 years, like 60 hours a week or 70 hours a week or something, making this game. Basically.
I have heard this on a What Culture list because he couldn't get a job or something.
Yeah.
So he was just like, yes, I'm going to just make this game constantly.
Yep, that's pretty much
Good
what
for
he
him.
did.
Well done. That's a passion project and a half, and he's made a fucking good game.
Right? And I hated myself because I didn't hear about this game. I remember the day I heard about this game. It was the day before it released. It was like an article on Polygon or something. And they were like, the guy who spent 4 years, and there was like all the story, and they were like, oh yeah, there's been this passionate Kickstarter campaign and this passionate people behind it for the past like year or so. I'm like, how have I not heard of this? And then I went and bought it like day of, and it was amazing. But still, I was like, holy shit, this is right up my alley. I love these games.
I must admit, it was like the first second I heard about it. I was just like, right, this is for me. I'm going to go and buy that.
Exactly.
So as someone who's played far too much Animal Crossing.
Right, same. I know that Harvest Moon was more of the inspiration here, which I unfortunately have never touched, but I've played a shit ton of all the Animal Crossing games, and I know that his goal here was to not only bring those types of games onto PC, but also take every problem that people still have with them and kind of fix it as well. So that's why the game is so just like wonderful in general.
Yeah, that's what it said in the bio.
Yeah, I had one of the Animal Crossing games on it was the 3DS one, the first 3DS one.
New Leaf? I
And
think there's only one 3DS
after
one.
I thought there was two.
No, there's like the Amiibo Festival one or some shit. I don't think it's a real normal game.
Amiibos.
Yeah, right?
It's not a normal game. No, there's more than one, definitely.
I don't think so. I think it's just New
Show
Leaf.
me a list of Harvest Moon games.
Oh, Harvest Moon. I thought you were talking Animal Crossing. My bad. There's probably like seven. There's probably like 7 Harvest Moon games on there.
Animal Crossing's had 2 games on the 3DS. It had Animal Crossing New Leaf, which is absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
And it had Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, which was fucking weird. I played it for about 20 minutes and I was just like, no thank you.
Yeah, that's the other one. Okay. It wasn't, but it's not like a normal one, right?
No, you're basically doing the home designing thing, and I completely failed at it, and I was just like, I'm not having fun, I'm going to take this back. But anyway, I was talking about the Harvest Moon game on the 3DS that I bought, which was... Oh my god, there's been so fucking many of them. I think it was The Lost Valley, if I remember correctly. It was not. Just going through them to try and find the right one, is it? I don't know. One of them, anyway, and I was just... This was after I had played Stardew Valley, and I was just like, not as good. The Harvest Moon games are not as good as Stardew Valley, and... Don't know if that's a good thing or not, but yeah, I really fucking enjoy that one a lot more than any of the Harvest Moon games that I played, so that's all right. Anyway, moving on. So yes, multiplayer in Stardew Valley. It is due to roll out. There will be a beta on Steam at the end of the year before it rolls out properly in early 2018 for PC, Mac, and Linux, and then it's at some undisclosed later date for consoles. So yeah, it's still a way off. But yeah, I'm still excited for it. I think as much as I'm not a multiplayer person, and now I know that I actually have people on here. I have 6 friends on here who play Stardew Valley. Fantastic. So I can play multiplayer with some of them. That's quite cool. One thing I will note on the multiplayer, only one of the players, presumably the host player, will be given the game's main role as the person who starts the farm and owns the farm and whatever. And the other 3 players are farm hands. So they will live in the cabin, be able to farm and mine, fish and forage, and marry your town's NPCs.
No, they'll have their own cabins, it says.
Oh, live in cabins on your farm, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I misread. They will not be able to skip time by sleeping. They can't start or end festivals or pick whether to side with the evil corporation Joja or not. I didn't, incidentally. I think they were a piece of shit. So...
I did both.
You sided with the corporation?
I did both. I did my first playthrough.
I was going to say, okay, you corporate sellout fuck. You killed the town.
I felt good about my decisions in my first playthrough. And the second playthrough...
The decrepit town
was a money grab.
Fucked over because of
I wanted to see how fast I could get to $10 million. So I went with Joja, and it is super easy.
Tut at you.
They're the best.
That's awesome.
They're the best if you want to move through the game and get stuff.
Yeah, but you ruined the town by doing it.
The only downside is that Perry's wasn't open on Wednesday. That could have been, that was kind of a bother sometimes. But you know what? I got $10 million. Who cares?
Turn your town into a corporate shill.
The second time, it's just like in Fable. When you play through the first playthrough, you're an angel, and the second playthrough, you're an evil devil. You didn't do that.
I wouldn't know because I don't like Fable.
Ugh.
I played like an hour of it. I was just like, this is not entertaining. I hate the combat. It feels like an MMO in the worst possible way.
Oh, okay. I love Fable 2, but you saying that just hurt me because you're not wrong. Honestly. What? I've never thought of that.
I know
but
exactly
that's
what you mean. It's like when, someone points out the flaws in Pokemon for me, and I'm just like, I know you're right, but it still hurts.
I hate to bring this back to Stardew Valley, the actual topic, but is the DLC going to be free?
Yeah.
I assume.
As far as I'm aware, it's going to be free. It just looks like a little update to it.
Yeah.
There's no mention of it being a priced
Because
thing.
I thought the developer, that was something else he said, that is he would make every future update would always be free. Which
I think you're right.
appreciate. I do. I really respect that.
I appreciate, but then they kind of dig themselves into a corner by saying that.
I don't know. How many copies? How many copies has that game sold?
It sold a shit.
Yeah, that game has made a
copies.
metric fuck ton of money. Like, he's good.
Like, that guy was unemployed and shitted
Yeah.
before this game, and now he's minted as fuck. I'm going to look at Steam Spy and see how many copies Stardew Valley's sold, because I'm actually quite interested. But anyway, while I'm doing that, speaking of getting married, a Stardew Valley speedrunner has broken the record for getting married in the game with a time of 26 minutes and 9 seconds. Bear in mind, it took me about sort of 10 hours to get to that bit, at least. Probably more, actually.
Did he use a mod, or was it legit?
No, he did not use a mod. What he did do, he used a glitch in the game that allows players who name themselves after specific ID item numbers to spawn those items whenever NPCs mention them by name. And you can talk to NPCs and they will mention, for example, their favourite item, whoever that might be, or whatever that might be, and it will spawn that item. So that's their favourite item. You give it to them, you get increased relationship, and increasing your relationship with someone is how you end up getting married.
And see, I just used the wallpaper book glitch. That was the best.
Oh, so you
I don't
glitch
know
too.
what that is.
But you have to buy the wallpaper book, which you still have to have a considerable amount of money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this guy, yeah, he didn't do that. He named himself after whatever girl's particular favorite item ID number and did it like that.
Right.
Wait, that's a way to do it?
Yeah.
His character looks like a tramp, incidentally. just thought I'd point that out.
There were a lot of glitches in that game. And to be honest, they did not ruin the gameplay experience for me. And I'm one that's opposed to glitching games. I want the true experience.
So sales figures, I'll just get back to that very quickly. Stardew Valley has sold 2.926 million copies.
Wow.
And
at $14 a piece?
Yes.
$14 a piece, right? That's the retail. I'm sure there were sales and things, but
Yeah, pretty much. It's $14 to $15 a piece. And players in total it's 92% of people who bought it have played it, which is quite high for games on Steam.
Yeah.
Players in the last 2 weeks, 368,000, and peak concurrent players yesterday, as we were recording this on the 1st, 13,508.
Not bad.
That's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. So, Stardew Valley multiplayer coming soon. I say soon. It probably is soon because it is now the 8th month of the year.
Wow, that's
very
true.
Depressing. Where is my life going? Now for a story that is not controversial anymore and not surprising, although I suspect Wesley has a fair amount of salt about it. Ark Survival Evolved has been delayed again. Woo!
And no one's surprised.
Initially,
not surprised.
Surprising nobody, the game was initially set to be released a week from now, August the 8th, and has now been delayed until August the 29th, explaining that while the Gold Master certification, its Gold Master and certification for retail release is done, but it's taken longer than expected, resulting in a delayed release for the game.
Oh, so it's a cert thing.
So, well, no, because they're done. So why has it been delayed? There's a week. You finished it. Why have you delayed it?
I mean, it's still coming out the 29th of August, so it didn't get delayed by much. But I guess since cert took longer, maybe you can't just drop it whenever, or maybe it's not smart to just drop it right now. I don't really understand.
Why? What difference would it make if you've got the
Here's
cert?
my issue. No, not just one issue. There's a lot of issues with Ark.
It's salt time. Here we go.
I have 1,000 hours in Ark Survival Evolved.
Jesus Christ!
I've been playing since
Amazing.
Why are you doing that
day
to yourself?
one. Okay, I love the game. Whenever I picked it up, my son was like, "Dad, you got to try this demo." I'm like, "What? That looks stupid." I got hooked. And my wife actually liked it. So my son and my wife, it was a game that all three of us could play together. It was easy to pick up. And then at that time, we had gotten burnt out on Destiny, my clan that I was running with. So some of them moved over, and I had a tribe of like 10 people that we played with. Again, count online friends. So it made the game a really good experience for me. That's why I have 1,000 hours over the past 2 years in the game. Even since day one, when the world mesh was like toilet paper and you would fall through for no reason, we put up with all of that. And I was really excited that they were making progress. They were slowly but steadily improving the game. And they were putting out content. You got new dinosaurs every 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, I really enjoyed it. But every time, I don't think they have missed one update where they send the update to... Now, it was on Xbox. I played on Xbox. That's where I spent all my time. But they would send the certification to Xbox, right, for it to be reviewed. And that takes 2 weeks. Microsoft says 2 weeks before it passes cert, if it passes. They would announce the day it was submitted to Xbox. They would say, hey, new update coming tomorrow. That's the day they submitted it for certification. So 2 weeks from that is when the actual date was. And people were like, hey, where's the update? And they're like, oh, it didn't go through certification yet. Every single update they did that. It just got to be a meme on their forums. Because they would post, Jeremy would be like, hey, new update, new dinosaurs. And the community was like, in like 2 weeks or in a month. So that was a little aggravating.
To be fair, though, people should know then when they announce it, it's like 2 weeks from then. People would have realized that eventually, no? Like, people still expected it?
Here's the thing. Whenever you announce a new product, especially something that is as, I guess, well-received as Ark was, surprisingly, for the state of the game when it came out, people are excited. People want new content. Whenever you enjoy a game, you want more of it. And so when they say, hey, this is coming out, that's what people expect. It's the internet. Come on. If you've been on the internet, you know when you say something, you got to stick to it. It's got to be real.
Fair. Can't argue that.
Well, you know, it's the implicit rule, but it doesn't mean it gets stuck to.
Okay, so Ark always had that problem, and I realized that Blizzard is a AAA title and they have their shit together. But whenever they say, hey, we're releasing a new character, all platforms get that character on the day that they announced it because they submitted their certification, they got it approved. I mean, Ark is still unable to do a multi-platform launch because it just released on PlayStation 4. Okay, Xbox is 2 weeks behind PlayStation, or Xbox is 2 weeks behind PC because they can just launch PC.
Yeah.
PS4 is 2 weeks behind Xbox. So PS4
Wow.
guys, sorry, you just get the shit into the stick.
What?
I mean, that is one reason. That is one of the many reasons some people dislike consoles so much. Is because that's part of it. That you are going into Microsoft or Sony's ecosystem. That is just it's part of the deal.
You said ecosystem, and that's kind of appropriate, really, when you think about it.
Oh yeah, no, it's described as that a lot.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
That's a different podcast.
It is. I do not get where what world or what drugs is the developer of Ark on, because sometimes their actions don't make any sense.
Another
I
example.
just don't get why this.
I'm
Another
going to
one.
continue pouring the salt here because, like I said, I have some investment in this game, so I do feel strongly about it. And it was the second Halloween event, the first one that was going to be released on console because console players didn't get any of the mods because, again, like we were just talking about certification, and then they have to tweak the system to put all that stuff in, whatever. But they were going to do it. They're like, all right, you know what? This year Xbox, you're getting the event, the Halloween event, and it had the Dodo Rex and it had the Dodo Wyvern that you were going to be able to fight, and you get all these goodies, and it was just amazing, and everybody was so excited. The day of launch, instead of the update is out, go download it now, they were like, we're not going to be able to release this. So the community was outraged, and they wanted to know what happened. What's wrong? Was there issues? And they're like, oh no, Jeremy went on vacation. He's been gone for 2 weeks, so they haven't really worked on it.
What? Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
Yeah. So he announced it for console and then left the country
Amazing.
to go do something else and didn't even work on it.
That's amazing.
Well done, you.
The man is a
utter
badass.
Arse clown.
No, that's really
Jesus.
shitty. I'm just kidding. But wow.
They did to
The ego of that
calm
man.
the community. They did release the Halloween update 2 weeks after Halloween, and they gave everybody a bunch of free shit because oh, we're sorry, we feel bad.
It's not even necessary. That's literally their fault.
I know.
What? I can't believe I'm hearing this.
Oh, man.
I can't believe I
mean,
didn't hear
I knew
about
they
that.
were a crap dev, but Jesus.
Again, I love Ark. The game was such a good experience for me and my friends. I mean, that's why, like I said, that's why I have so much a passion, I guess, around this opinion.
Definitely.
I really wish they had it together a little better. But hey, what do you expect from whenever you get a lawsuit right out of the gate when you start your new company because you promised not to steal employees? And then
Yeah.
that was the very first thing you did.
You can't even comprehend where this company comes from sometimes. And yeah, I just, going back to the reason, I just still do not understand why it's been delayed if they actually have the things that's required. Because, like, I'd understand delaying the console release because I think there's a boxed console release.
Oh, is there?
But
I mean, you could still release that later.
I don't
That
know.
happens all the
Exactly.
time.
You could release the download.
Yeah.
You've got the Gold Master and the certification. You just have to put it live. That's like you have to click a button. I don't get why this has been delayed. There should be no issue. There should just be like, fine. I mean, I say it like I give a shit, and I really don't because I don't give a shit
No,
about
but it's
art.
fascinating.
I just give
This
a
is
shit as to
fascinating.
why this is happening.
But then, honestly, Wesley telling me that story makes me just not even question it anymore. I'm just not surprised. Like, I feel like that answered it in its
Yeah.
own way.
Oh, by the way, yeah, the DLC is going to be released with the game. So remember, this is a game that'll have been in early access for about 2 years.
Oh, more than that.
Will launch and have DLC on day one. If you have not supported this game already, I am going to recommend not supporting this game because it has awful business practices.
Yeah, it does. Well, that DLC was supposed to come out the day this game is actually releasing. Now. Because
Yes,
this game
it
was supposed to come out on the 8th.
after. That doesn't make it better.
I'm not saying it makes
This
it
is
better.
quite
I am
clearly
not
near
saying it
ready
makes
anyway.
it better. I am informing the customer.
They should not have been developing anything else related to DLC before they finish the goddamn game.
See, it's overused, but I'm going to go to Minecraft because Minecraft, I think, had just a great policy around this type of stuff. Like, it had updates all the time, and then one day it had, like, when they felt it had enough content, they had the quote-unquote release update, and then the updates just kept coming as normal. Nothing changed aside from the fact that it was quote-unquote officially released. I think that's great.
Yeah. Well, because it had already released, it already had the fanfare and the big fan base behind it.
Well, so does Ark.
Whereas a lot of games in early access don't have that luxury.
That's true.
So they need to amp up the launch. But yeah, exactly. The same is with Up. They could just launch it quietly and everyone would be fine with it. Apparently, Studio Wildcard have said that despite the fact they have the Gold Master, this extended time will allow further development of the map, and you guys can expect a gigantic update, even bigger than we initially thought. The day of release, the overground of the world will increase by 1/4, which is near enough the island-sized expansion. What? I have no context for that. What does that mean?
The island-size expansion.
That's the name of the map, is the island.
Oh, it's the name of the map. Okay.
The update will feature new biomes, a coastal wyvern canyon, an epic boss encounter, new engrams, and something secret the Ragnarok team are cooking up, so that's DLC exclusive bullshit. We will also be adding their custom creatures to the main game, which will allow players to transfer them via the cross-arc system. So you'll be able to bring over your ice wyverns to the island, the center, and the scorched earth. What does that mean? What is half of those words mean nothing to me?
You haven't played, Count.
What is the cross-arc system?
This is all you.
What is the cross-arc system? Like, why can't you take things to different parts? That makes no sense. Like, you can go to them. Why can't your big fuck-off dinosaur that's probably more durable than you?
So, in the early days,
Go on. Defend this.
I'm going to explain it. I don't know about defending. I'm going to explain it to the best of my ability. In the early days, when you loaded, anytime you changed servers, so anytime if you went from a non-dedicated to a dedicated to a public to a private, whatever, you had to start a new character. New map, new character, period.
That's a fairly common thing, too.
Whenever they introduced the cross-arc system, because people were kind of upset about that because they have hours into building a character and then they want to go or move or play their own, they want to do solo. They couldn't. So there is an area in the game, part of the lore to Ark. There are 3 spires on the map. We don't know what they are. We don't know where they came from. But they're kind of like the force behind whatever's going on, like whatever the island is. If you go to those, you can put your character or put your dinos or put your inventory, whatever you want. You can put those into the spires. Then when you go to another map or another area or another server, you just need to go back to that spire and then pull all your stuff out.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a vault.
What a heap of shit.
It's kind of like, did you play Borderlands? Borderlands 2?
Yes.
Destiny,
yes,
your
yes,
vault?
Yes.
For like 5 minutes. I joke. I played for about 2 hours and it annoyed me so much.
Borderlands?
It's so grindy.
No.
The first one? Wait, are you talking the first or the second?
Either.
Second one. I spent
What?
a fucking
You're wrong,
hour
Count.
trying to clear out one fucking stronghold.
Mute the count.
I was
Turn him
so
off.
pissed off by the
the
end of it.
count.
I did a boss and I just quit the game because I was so annoyed with the piece of shit. I hate it.
Oh, I'm actually surprised. I'm genuinely surprised by this.
Oh dear. Right, so yeah. This is another issue for Ark Survival Evolved that has just this has been a month of crap from them because they have doubled the price on Steam.
Okay.
And that's pissed people off, rightly so, because
Understandable,
that's
yeah.
bullshit.
Did you see it said in the article because the price hike had to do with physical copies?
Nope. On Steam, it's $49.99
Exactly.
in pounds.
How does that
That's,
have
$60.
anything to do with a disc?
It doesn't. They're just being assholes.
Again, I'm not surprised by that either.
No, exactly. They are just massive.
It's their publisher,
massive
guys. Don't
douche-canoes.
blame the developer. Blame the publisher. Oh wait,
Do
they're
they have a
self-published.
publisher?
No.
Yeah, okay.
No. Anyway, so yeah, this is the latest in a long line of scandals surrounding a very surprisingly popular game, which I will not be playing on principle, and mostly because I also don't want to. So there's that. Yeah, it's a bit of a shitty move, really, and I want to stop talking about it. So let's move on. Da 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 da. So a few weeks ago, there was a big controversy that you might have heard of about modding in Grand Theft Auto 5.
Definitely.
The controversy was, of course, around the Open 4 mod, which basically paved the way for most mods to exist, which got shut down. And then there was a lot of kerfuffle. It got review bombed on Steam, and then the mod got put back up, funnily enough, because Grand Theft Auto, well, Take-Two and Rockstar don't like that negative PR. I can't think why. So, just following on, not really following on from that, but I want to talk about another mod that's going to launch that looks very, very interesting. And it's a Grand Theft Auto mod that allows the player to go to space.
Which is honestly surprising that isn't in the game, to be completely honest with you. But yeah.
Well, yeah, like, surely they'd put something in there. Because like, there was the thing about the aliens, wasn't there? The UFOs.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
And
Aliens.
Didn't that get solved?
They're in the game, but they're like Easter eggs.
They're definitely in the game, but I swear there was a mystery around them that got solved, not just that they exist.
That space mod looks pretty awesome. And you know what it reminded me of?
It really does.
The very first thing I thought of
Space program
was Ark Survival Evolved Space Mod.
Go die in a hole.
You can play Ark
No.
on the moon. There is a mod for that.
But you could also buy Kerbal Space Program.
Ooh, that's what I was thinking of.
Are there aliens?
Yeah. I don't think... No, there aren't aliens in Kerbal
yeah, I
Space
don't
Program
think
that I'm
so.
aware of. But it's like proper realistic, or 90% realistic space flight.
0 out of 10.
It's
No
amazing.
aliens.
You shut your whore mouth. Grand Theft Auto, the space mod. Back to that thing. This has a very cinematic trailer, which I'm watching again.
I know.
It's like-
That was impressive.
It's like, are we watching?
Yeah, it was a pretty
are we
cool
watching
trailer.
Apollo 13?
Remember,
here
they
or
have that.
something,
They
or
have
The
that
Martian?
cinematic like maker in the game, so it's pretty easy to do. They have the filmmaking thing in the game.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. You know, that was another
That's very
brilliant
true.
move by Rockstar, is to add the, what is it, the content creator, the maker, the map maker, or whatever it was? The editor.
Yeah, the editor.
Yeah, the editor.
Create your own matches. I thought, this is brilliant.
Yeah, you can create your own matches. You can create your own movies on it as well, and the movies are fucking amazing that some people come up with. Like, people do proper sort of machinima style things with this, and it's amazing.
Just like with Source Filmmaker.
Yes, exactly.
So if you're a
Very cool
developer and you're like, you know what, I'm running out of ideas for death matches. Hey, let's just put our editor up and let our community make them for us.
What I find amazing, going back to the actual topic at hand, is I have no idea what they've actually done with this mod, like how big the map is going to be, but I love how very sort of mostly accurate and detailed it all is. Because like they've modded in what looks like a very realistic space shuttle. It won't be able to go to Mars or anything, so that's a bit unrealistic. But the space shuttle's so real. They've made this, I think it's Mars that you go to, look really real, and then there's some aliens that terraforming it somehow. There's a spaceship crash in the trailer, which looks really good. And the amount of the amount of assets they've used really is striking. And I'm really interested to see what they do with it.
I didn't see any gameplay in that trailer, which it could be a
The thing
ruse.
is, because of the way the editor works, that had to have been done in gameplay.
Yeah, that had to have been in game.
Yeah,
But the thing
the
is,
way
it's like
the
you
Grand
also
Theft Auto
kinda
5
know how
editor
it's
works
gonna
is you
play.
set up a camera, and you have to then do the gameplay around the camera, and then you can sort of fiddle around with the footage. But that all of what you saw had to have been done in game somehow.
I remember that GTA 6 leaked trailer about a year or so back. It was a couple years ago.
Nah,
That makes me think of
think I saw
this.
this.
wasn't that just like something made in the GTA 5 thing?
Yeah, and it was like, this is really horrible. I hope they're not going to actually make this game. So
That's funny.
it made me think of that too. It's like, man, this looks really cool. What if somebody just did an awesome cinematic and this is not really a thing? It's been known to happen.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, the community is a bit odd, and everything's a bit odd, really. But yeah, this mod, because that's all has to have been done in gameplay, and it's a very cinematic trailer anyway, This has got me really interested. This hooked me. Like, I didn't even need to see the trailer. I saw the title of an article. GTA mod takes you to space. And I was just like, what? This is a thing that I need in my life.
I want to see some gameplay, Count. I want to see a stream of Count in
that
space.
That is gameplay.
No, from you. I want to see
not...
you in space playing GTA.
Oh, from me? Oh, yeah. Holy shit. Well, I'll play this. I'd play the shit out of this.
GTA is so grindy.
The mod is still work in progress with no... I like the single player of GTA 5. I cannot stand GTA Online. GTA Online is a piece of shit because it's so grindy.
What?
It is.
I mean, I'm not saying it isn't. I'm not saying it
me?
isn't grindy per se, but there's so much to do in GTA Online.
I'm sorry, but at one point in GTA Online, I got to a point where I couldn't afford to fill my guns up with ammo, and I was using more ammo than I was actually. Like, this was in death matches. I was using more ammo than I was getting the money to buy. Fuck off. And it's just encouraging you to pay for the microtransactions. I don't care how much content is in there. That is what that system does, and it pisses me off. I cannot stand GTA Online for that sole reason.
It just sounds like you're really bad at multiplayer, man.
Yeah, this sounds like a personal problem.
No, I'm quite good at the multiplayer. I just don't like having to be in a position where I feel like I need to pay for something.
Who runs out of bullets?
For my experience to continue. Who runs out of bullets? People in death matches all the time because they can't fucking do anything else.
All right, back to outer space.
Back to outer space. Yes, please. It sounds more interesting. But yes, this mod looks incredibly interesting. There's no release date yet, and I will probably play it on my channel when it comes out. In fact, I'm planning on doing some sort of GTA-related thing soon. This mod looks super interesting, so that's something that you should all definitely keep an eye on. And we shall move on to the final story of the show. Da, 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 da. It is now time for a section that we are going to call Snowy Salt, where I get more salty than usual over a particular story.
Amazing.
Somehow.
Yeah, somehow.
I don't know how.
We just allow it more.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell us how you really feel.
Bioware Montreal, the studio responsible for the rather lackluster Mass Effect Andromeda, are now officially going to be absorbed by EA Motive. Again, this is... Right, my salt isn't specifically with the fact that it's Bioware Montreal, because we all know that Mass Effect Andromeda isn't amazing. My issue is the fact that EA are doing it again. They do this every single time a game does less than amazing for EA. The subsidiary of EA gets absorbed and eventually just goes away.
That's a very interesting point.
It's like Bullfrog. Bullfrog made amazing games, like Dungeon Keeper.
Oh, yes, yes.
And things like that. Yes, Bullfrog Productions, a British video game developer. And yes, they made... they made Theme Park, the Populous series, Dungeon Keeper, the Syndicate series, which was... Like, the Dungeon Keeper and Syndicate are basically some of the most... some of the best PC games of all time. And they also made Theme Park World, which was one of the first management games I ever played in 1999. And they actually made Quake 3, which I did not know. They made the PlayStation 2 conversion of Quake 3.
No shit.
Yeah, that was the last game they ever made properly in 2001. But yeah, they made quite a few very good games. They went sort of down in the revenue situation. And they just got rid of. And then they released Dungeon Keeper Mobile a few years ago, and it's so bad.
This is supposed to be Snowy Salt, not Snowy Sadness.
I'm really salty about Dungeon Keeper Mobile.
Salt in his tears.
Fuck that thing. Yeah.
Fair.
Salty tears. Seriously, Dungeon Keeper Mobile is the worst thing to ever besmirch the world of gaming. A complete and utter shit stain.
So it's not as bad as Ark.
Other
Ark is better.
It makes other mobile games look good. And I hate mobile games. That's how bad Dungeon Keeper Mobile is. And that's because EA are bastards and just absorb anything that isn't towing the line and doing amazing. They've done it with so many companies. It's ridiculous. I wonder if I can find a list. List of EA. List of companies EA has killed. Beautiful. Yes. There's a Kotaku article. There's a Cup of Linux article. And even an Imgur post. So yeah, they killed Maxis. They killed Maxis in 2014. Maxis, for those of you who don't know, Maxis made The Sims and SimCity, all of those games, and they were partly responsible for Spore, that game, which was not as good as it could have been, but I actually really enjoyed Spore
was
personally. Cool. Yeah, didn't live up to its potential and what it was marketed as, but it was still pretty damn good. And yeah, they got shut down in 2014. Mythic Entertainment, who made, their most recognised thing was apparently Dark Age of Camelot, who I don't know. Bullfrog Origin Systems made... What did they make? Well known for the Ultima and Wing Commander games.
Oh, okay.
They've been shut down. They were shut down in 2004, which meant also one of the games that they shut down was a Harry Potter online game.
No!
That
needs to happen already.
That would have been amazing!
Fuck you, EA. Goddamn.
Exactly. Westwood Studios, who made a lot of RTS games, such as the Command and Conquer games. Red Alert 2, Red Alert 3. DreamWorks Interactive, that's not the DreamWorks that make Thingy-Majig. That's not the people who make the films, that's the people who made Medal of Honor. And they were absorbed by DICE in 2013. The people who made Spellforce are also dead, which is Phenomic Games. Black Box Games made Need for Speed and Skate games, closed in 2013. Pandemic, who made the original Star Wars Battlefront games, which were amazing.
Yes.
And they got absorbed by DICE, and they ended up making Star Wars Battlefront 2015.
Wow. You were not kidding.
Anyway, Playfish made social network games like The Sims Social, founded in 2007, purchased in 2009, shut down in 2013. And NUFX, which made the NBA Street games. Due to its inability to meet street targets, it was shut down in 2004. And now, Bioware Montreal can join that list.
I'm surprised they weren't all just moved over to Anthem.
Yeah. Oh, on some sad news, actually, the creative director of Anthem has passed away today.
And he was Mass Effect as well.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
He's passed away today.
Yep.
Yeah.
True shame.
Yeah, I just thought that. That's
He's been there for 10 years.
Rest in peace to him, and happy feelings to all his family and friends, because that sucks.
Definitely.
Yeah. Still, this also, back to the EA news, that really does sort of suck, because we know where it's going to go. We know exactly what's going to happen. BioWare Montreal will be fully absorbed, which means BioWare Montreal is no longer a thing. Problem is, BioWare I think they've only got one office left, which is BioWare Austin, that I'm aware of. Oh no, sorry, they have BioWare Edmonton as well. Edmonton is the one that's working on Anthem. I don't know where Edmonton is, by the way.
I think it's in Canada.
Right, okay.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
And according to the Eurogamer article, the fallout from Mass Effect Andromeda pointed to friction between the Montreal and Edmonton branches, which is one of the reasons it apparently struggled to meet expectations. And the closure, yes, the only other studio left is Austin, which are currently producing, or they're still working on Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Oh, right.
Which is still being
That's a game.
painted for, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a thing. But yeah, so one of BioWare's 3 offices is now defunct, sort of. It's absorbed by EA, which means all of its staff are just going to be taken off. They're probably just going to be taken off Mass Effect, actually, now. So that probably means that game is, patch-wise, dead. It's going to be... whatever state it's in now might well be the state that it stays in. And they'll be farmed off to other projects within EA. Hopefully, ones that they don't mind too much. But... I don't know if this is still true, but EA have a really awful record of being like a really terrible company to work for.
From what I know, that's still the
that's
case.
Still true. Oh, like it's probably better off when you're in a subsidiary of EA, but now these people are not in a subsidiary of EA, so they're gonna get shafted. So yes, anyone else have any particular feelings about this?
Not really. I'm not surprised by it at all. It's just. I just hope that this doesn't result in a bunch of people losing their jobs. Because I'm sure that some people are getting left out of this entirely and just being laid off and stuff like that, which always sucks.
It really does. That's the worst sort of situation we can end up in. And we can only hope that if any people let go, that they find jobs within the industry nice and quickly. But we've no signs that that's happening yet. But as we say, Bioware Montreal is dead, which means, in my mind at least, Mass Effect Andromeda is probably going to be abandoned. Which is a shame. It really is, because like that game looked really interesting. I was going to buy it. I'm kind of glad I didn't. And I think what it is a missed opportunity and a bit of a shame that it couldn't really reach its full potential.
Yep. That it is. I love Mass Effect.
A lot of people do, apart from number 3, which was...
Number 3 is still great.
Divisive.
It's just the ending, which I didn't think was awful, but I understand why people didn't like it. But there was still most of the game was great. Like, it was epic. A lot of storylines did get wrapped up and stuff like that. But yes, I digress. That's for another time.
Yeah, the Mass Effect discussion video.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So, yeah, there's all sad news and all that kind of stuff. Just very briefly before we end the show, a YouTuber by the name of Boogie2988 is going for his surgery today as we are talking. It's a gastric bypass surgery. So by the time this has gone out, he'll be done and recovering. But, you know, from me at least, and I hope it's from everyone else in GameCast, wish him good luck with that.
Definitely.
And hope he gets well soon. He's a very well-known face within the YouTube industry.
Yep.
So
he's a wonderful human being.
He's a good guy. Yeah, he is. He's a really good guy, and I just hope he gets through it and gets well soon. So, that marks the end of the GameCast newscast for this week. Hopefully it was a bit more structured. Well, we'll see how Sully hammers it into place, because he is doing the editing this week. And
good luck.
Hopefully it comes out halfway sensibly, and hopefully it's not cut down to about 15 minutes. And yes, I'd like to thank my guest, or our guest this week, Wesley. Say thank you. Say thank you, Wesley. Thank you. Thank us for letting us on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me
on. Thank you, Wesley.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Wesley. Thank you for coming on. And yes, so we'll go around the table and promote ourselves and our stuff. So let's start with you, Wesley. Where can we find you?
I am at earlyaccessgaming.net. That is where you'll find my site where we report on Kickstarters and indie games in development. I'm also on Twitter and Facebook under the same handle.
Same handle, I
yes.
assume. Yes. Cool. Lovely. Thank you, Max. Where can we find you?
You can find me anywhere on the internet at Maximal, as well as doing reviews and news here at GameCast.
Cool. And myself, I can be found here on GameCast doing the news and this weird shambles. You can also find me on Twitter at Snowy Duffield. That is my Twitter handle. And my YouTube channel is Snowy Duffield. And my Twitch channel, which I've started doing Twitch streams on, is called Metal Nerd Dude. One word. Because it is. Because that was the thing I was messing with when I made the account, and now I can't change it, so... So I have been streaming Pyre so far, although you can't watch the first part because I forgot to archive it, so too bad. You can watch the second part, though. That I did today. And I'll hopefully be doing more of those, and they will get exported to my YouTube channel after a while as well, so you can be watching them there if you happen to miss any of them. So thank you very much for watching or listening to the GameCast newscast. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, give us a like, a subscribe, a share, whatever you fancy, or a dislike if we have somehow offended your sensibilities. You can join in with the GameCast community on the GameCast Discord. There is a link in the description which can take you to that, where there's a lot of banter. You can see a public chat, a self-promotion for the creators, and a video feed so you know what videos are happening and when. So yes, it's all lovely and a very friendly community so far, and I hope that continues. And other than that, yes, I hope you enjoyed watching, and we will see you next time for another GameCast newscast.